Hey everybody, welcome to episode 3 of Empowered Recovery. Sorry for the week-long delay, but honestly at week 3 I didn't have much to say. Recovery was going fine. I was being active, but there really wasn't anything that I kind of felt that I really needed to pass on. But update, stitches are out. I've got my cam boot here. Right now it's out. I'm doing some pointing and flexing and all that kind of stuff, trying to do a little bit of stretching for it as the doctor recommended to just kind of work on a little pre-therapy, I guess you could call it. But let me get into today's topic, or this week's topic, and it's adversity. Got a lot of people that are getting injured. See it around the, just in my street parking group, let alone other places, and you kind of have a few different things that happen when you get hurt. Some people shut down completely. Others try to push through it and maybe hurt themselves more. So kind of like, what to do when you're injured. You can do nothing or you can do something. I think it's obviously better to do something. And that something may be the Rice method. It might be, taking it easy for a couple days. This is all non-doctor stuff. This is just me spitballing it here and just talking from experience and that sort of thing. But I look at professional athletes. Obviously, they have the best equipment, time. That's their full-time job. So when they get hurt, they get it all. But what I'm talking about is looking at their process. So, if a professional athlete sprains their ankle, they go in for therapy for it. But or they ice it, they do all that kind of stuff. But then they exercise it, they stretch it, they do that physical therapy. But they don't fully rest. They're constantly working around that injury. I look at a guy like Adrian Peterson. He tore his ACL and, if I remember correctly, his MCL in his knee, because obviously that's where they're at. And he came back in 9 months and rushed for, I think it was over 2,000 yards, did something crazy. Do you think that when he hurt that ankle or blew out his knee, that he stopped working the rest of his body? No. He kept working. He worked around that injury. And so I found a quote that I thought was very practical in this journey. And it's something that I hope you kind of take to heart. But it says, it's by Francis of Assisi. It says, start by doing what's necessary, then do what's possible, and suddenly you're doing the impossible. So, starting off, first, what do you do, when you get injured? You do what the doctor or your body says is necessary. At first that might be, the ice, rest, stretch, physical therapy, whatever. Obviously if you're seeking a professional, follow their advice. But if it's just you around the house and you say, oh, I can do this, I can do that. Okay, well, see how maybe, you can squat and you don't really feel much pain. Okay, maybe that day you do body weight squats. Next day, you don't feel any worse for wear. Okay, maybe do body weight squats again. And then, hey, I still don't feel worse. Okay, maybe now I add 10 pounds. And you slowly find out where that threshold is. And if you find a spot where it's hurting too much, then you back it down and you continue to go, you do what's necessary. You work around and you find something. But then also almost simultaneously though, you're doing the second part, what's possible. Like I said, do you think those athletes stop doing everything? No. They hurt their knee. Guess what? They're working their opposite leg. They're still working their upper body. They're working their cardiovascular system in whatever method that they have available to them. They're doing something. And so now you're in that aspect of you did what's necessary and you're doing what's necessary, because even during this what's possible, you're still rehabbing that initial injury. But you're constantly trying to find new ways of what's possible, and you're working to try to make progress. What did I put on here? They said, so yeah, you're trying to, you may not, like right now, I'm losing strength, obviously. I'm not able to do as much. But me taking a 30-pound dumbbell doing seated dumbbell snatches instead of 40-pound, that's still me either maintaining my gains of those strength or reducing the speed at which I decrease my strength or lose my strength. Same thing with cardiovascular stuff. I'm doing one-legged assault bike stuff, or I know a lot of people do one-legged row. I'm not pushing as hard, but I'm reducing the effect of doing no cardio. So I'm doing what's possible, and I'm assisting myself because this is only going to help in my overall recovery once I hit step 3. Step 3 is what's impossible. And honestly, there's times where I've been hurt long enough where I honestly didn't think I was going to ever be 100%. I don't really ever think I'm going to be truly 100% again, but where I'm back doing what I can do and what's possible and what's completely out there. So I kind of I want to get back to the new normal. I think after coming out of every injury, there's a new normal. Sometimes that's 100%, you're back to normal. You have no problems whatsoever. I've found, obviously with my plantar fascia surgery, my new normal is a little different. Explosive jumps are a little harder, so I typically don't do them as much. I might jump a little bit, not as high. I definitely don't rebound. Who knows how this ankle is going to treat me. But, so my new impossible step 3, is that I just want to be functional again. I want to be able to do a traditional workout again. I want to be able to walk completely. I want to be able to run again. That might mean that I have to do things to prepare for each of those runs, and I maybe have some discomfort afterwards, but I have to do some post-workout treatment, which right now I don't typically have to do. But that's my goal. That to me right now is the impossible goal. I know it's possible, but it feels impossible right now because it's such a journey ahead. And that's kind of my thought for the day. I want to leave you with a quote before I get into a few modifications that I did these past couple weeks. A lot of the stuff you're going to know modifications are repeats. But Golda Meir, former Prime Minister of Israel, said, "You'll never find a better sparring partner than adversity." And I think that's kind of a cool thought process, is that you're fighting, to get through something. And that's kind of the way I look at what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to fight through this problem. But modifications, there was a goblet squat to press. Obviously, it's a little hard to do a one-legged squat with dumbbells and then press and keep my balance and be able to reach for something if I'm going to fall and hurt that foot. So what I did there was I did all my goblet squats first. I just held, I can't remember if I used a weight or not. But then after that, I grabbed the dumbbells and I did seated presses. So I did them in broken movements, but I still got the movements done. Upright row, just changed to a seated row. It was a little awkward. Obviously not nearly as heavy as I would probably go. Kettlebell swing, swap for seated dumbbell snatches. And I'll tell you what, those things burned because you can't really use it in momentum. There's no leg drive, so I still got that burn in my lower back like I would from a kettlebell swing. And I thought that was an amazing modification because I didn't really feel like I was losing anything. Yeah, I did 30 pounds instead of 40 pounds, but I thought it was huge. It was a major difference. Or not a major difference, but it was amazing how little difference there was, excuse me. And then I just did, I did lunges again and just did one-legged stand-up. But there's a lot of other modifications, but those are just some of those of note. So if you're hurt right now, tackle this week, try to figure out where you are in those 3 steps. Like I said, the lines kind of blur a little bit, but just keep working. Don't say, at least in my opinion, don't say, oh, I'm just going to take the next couple weeks off. That's the last thing you want to do, because once you start that routine of taking those weeks off, speaking from experience, those weeks turn into a month, 2 months, and slowly but surely you get fat like me and you start to struggle, and it's that much harder to get back into the routine because it's easy to break a routine. It's a lot harder to establish a routine. So that's what I got, guys. Hopefully I'll see you next time. And if you have any questions, comments, input, please put them in the comments below, and I'll see you later.